Have a seat. Get your spine comfortably aligned. Shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. Big inhale through the nose. Big exhale through the mouth. Close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. And just kind of take a moment, really check in with how each part of your body is doing. And as you're feeling into your various body parts, I'd like you to go ahead and begin your Ujjayi breathing. So that nice, deep, slow, aspirated breath in and out through the nose. Keep your Ujjayi breath going and check in with any thought patterns that you recognize this morning. Any emotions resulting from your thought patterns. Notice what your energy feels like. And notice how connected you feel to yourself, to each other, to your planet, and to something larger than you. And then let's bring palms together in front of the heart. Just take a moment and set your intention for practice today. When you're clear on your intention, you're going to take a deeper breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth again. And then from here on out, all nose breathing. We're going to go straight into downward facing dog. So I want you to just plant your hands, step your feet back, reach the hips up and back, maybe pedal the feet a little bit. It's kind of easing into lengthening the spine. And then after you've had a couple of breaths to really press the tailbone back, you could start to walk your feet forward, keeping your knees bent, and just hang in ragdoll. Sorry about the blip. So knees are bent, neck is relaxed, hanging in ragdoll. And then on your next inhale, come all the way up, reach the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Take a moment to really connect downward. And then inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Fingertips to the mat if you can get there, even if you need to bend your knees. And then lift the chest, pull it forward for your half forward bend. Fingertips still connected. Exhale all the way back down. We're going to step back with our right foot this morning. So you've got a left foot forward lunge to start with. Just hold your lunge. Let the hips sink. We're really kind of looking for some inner thigh separation today. So let's refine our lunge a little bit. Make sure that your left shin is vertical. So it's perpendicular to the floor. You want to make sure that your knee is not shooting way forward. If it is, you can scoot that right foot back a little bit. And then we want to try and let the hips drop towards the mat. But we're pushing through the back of the right heel, lifting the back of the right knee, and also pulling forward with the left knee. So you're trying to separate between the thighs. Go ahead and drop your right knee down now. Left hand to the inside of the left knee. Roll to the outside edge of your left foot. Apply a little bit of pressure. So you might feel this in the left outer hip. You might feel it in the left inner thigh. You might feel it in both places. It's all good. Take a couple more breaths. And then go ahead and fully extend your left leg, stretching into your left hamstring. And then left knee is gonna bend. We're gonna bring the arms up and overhead. Let the pelvis tilt back slightly as we allow the hips to move forward, getting into the front of the right hip, right thigh. From here, hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Hold your plank position for a moment. So this first time down, let's go ahead and modify and go knees, chest, and chin. Untuck the toes and let your chest lift up about halfway for a low cobra. And then downward facing dog. Lengthen out, stretch. And then step forward with your right foot. And we hold the lunge here. And again, let's refine it. So we don't want to just kind of mindlessly hang out in these yoga poses, right? Every day, every pose, we have to show up and be mindful and really feel into the sensations. That's really the whole point of it. So make sure your right lower leg is straight up and down. Allow the pelvis to kind of drop down towards the mat, but you want to push through the back of the left heel and the left knee, and then right knee presses forward so that you're really feeling the separation between the thighs. From here, drop your left knee down, put your right hand on the inside of the right knee, roll to the outside edge of the right foot, and apply some pressure. From here, we fully extend the right leg, getting into the hamstring. And then we bend the right knee, bring arms up and overhead, pelvis tilts back slightly, hips move forward. Now we're trying to find some sensation on the front of that left hip. Hands to the mat, step forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale and look up halfway. Exhale, back down. This time stepping back with left foot, so you've got a right foot forward lunge. See how that feels, just like we did first time. Allow the hips to sink, etc. Maybe even make it a longer lunge, like slide the left foot back a little bit. See how much distance you can comfortably get between the right foot and the left. And if you feel like you're okay with it, we'll come into a high lunge. Remember, you can always drop the left knee if you need to. Otherwise, arms are going to come up and overhead. We'll tilt the pelvis and let the hips sink. And then go ahead and bring your hands down either side of the right foot. Begin to extend your right leg, and it's okay if it doesn't straighten all the way. Try and keep the spine lengthening. Just do your best here. Again, it's about sensation, not about the visual. So it doesn't matter what you look like here. It matters if you're feeling opening through the back of the right thigh. From here, we're going to step straight back to plank. Flow through your vinyasa your way. As you get to your downward facing dog, make sure you're lengthening the spine. So you want your hips to reach up and back, and you want to press the heels down. So you're feeling a little bit of lengthening on the back of the legs. Left foot steps forward. Again, pause for a moment in your lunge here to kind of feel into the space between the thighs and see if maybe you can get a little bit of extra distance between the feet, whatever you can comfortably manage. And then if you can, you come up into a high lunge. If you need to, you can drop the right knee. But we want to let the pelvis tilt and let the hips drop. And then from here, we're going to bring hands on either side of the left foot, gaze forward, begin to straighten the left leg. Remember, it's okay if it doesn't go all the way straight, right? We want to pay attention to where we're grounding, which would be through the fingertips, as well as both feet. And then you're just doing your best to extend the left leg. Step forward to a standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale and look up halfway, and then exhale back down. So we're going to step back with the right foot, spin the heel flat, and come up into warrior two. So it's a left foot forward, warrior two. Now, once you find your alignment, if you feel like you can, I'm going to challenge you to scoot your left foot forward a little bit. Let the hips go deeper. So now you should really be feeling it. Hopefully slightly outside of your comfort zone. We're going to take right hand to right thigh, left arm up and over for reverse warrior. Keep your left knee bent. Keep it pressing towards the little toe. Keep your right leg straight. Come all the way back up. Straighten your left leg. Kick your right hip to the right. Lengthen out and find triangle on your left side. Be very mindful of trying to keep both legs straight here. Mindful of keeping torso lengthened and aligned over the left leg. Now, as you come up from this, you're going to just bend your left knee a little like you were for warrior two, but I want you to bring your right heel in and immediately bend into the right knee, left toes towards the ceiling. Now, if you're modifying for knees, you could stay here with your hands on your thighs. You can have your hands on the floor, or if you feel like you can release, you can bring your hands to prayer. Your right heel needs to be flat. So you're basically just stretching out that left inner thigh and hamstring. Take one more breath. Now, as we come back up, we're just going to rotate the right foot back in, warrior two. And then take your hands to the mat, step it back to plank, flow through the vinyasa of your choice. Remember to press the heels down as much as you press the tailbone up. Step forward with your right foot, spin that left heel flat. Now you're in warrior two on the right side. Find your alignment. Then see if you can maybe scoot that right foot farther forward and go a little deeper so you really feel it. Keep your alignment. Take left hand to left thigh, right arm up and over. So remember, your left leg stays straight, right knee stays bent and continues to press towards the little toe. Then we're going to come all the way up, straighten the right leg, kick the hips to the left, lengthen out for triangle on your right side. Pay attention to your alignment, keeping right leg as straight as possible. Now we're gonna come back up. As we do, we're just gonna rotate left toes out and bend into the left knee. Right toes are pointing towards the ceiling. So you're coming into Skandasana on this side. Ideally, your left heel is flat. Your hands can be on the floor. Your hands can be on your thighs, or they can be in prayer. Just come back out of that as you bend your right knee, left toes rotate back in. You're back in warrior two. And then we're going to take the hands to the mat, step it back to plank, take your vinyasa. From this downward facing dog, you can either walk or jump forward to a standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Turn sideways on your mat and take a nice, long, wide side stance and start with your toes directly forward. Go ahead and hinge at your hips. Relax forward for a couple of breaths. Now, keeping toes pointing forward. Walk your hands towards your right foot, maybe even bend the right knee a little bit. So now you're going to feel it more in the inner thigh than in Skandasana, you feel it more in the hamstring. Here with the foot forward, you should feel it in the inner thigh. Hold for a breath. Straighten your right leg, walk your hands over towards your left foot, bend into that left knee a little bit, get that right inner thigh stretch. Come back to the center, both legs straight. Take the feet wider. Hang for a couple of breaths. And then if you can, go wider one more time. You should be pretty close to your limit here. Breathe. And then you can come back up onto your hands. Toe heel your feet together. Take a big inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, palms together in front of your heart. So we're going to balance in half moon, which works hamstrings and inner thighs. If you need a block or something to put your hand on, you can. But we're going to try and work this and hold it for a little bit, which could be challenging. If it's a wonky balance day, the way to kind of stabilize in this is to have your back up against a wall if you've got one. All right, we're going to stand on the left foot first. So if your left foot is parallel to the long sides of your mat, your left hand is going to be torso distance from your foot on the mat with your thumb aligning with the little toe of the left foot. The right leg extends straight behind you into the air, ideally parallel to the floor or even higher. Right hand reaches for the ceiling. Now, what I'd like you to work with today, excuse me, is just as much as your body allows, straightening that left leg, your standing leg, and really lifting and straightening the right leg. And then breathe. Go ahead and come on out of that. Relax your arms for a moment. Roll your shoulders back if you need to. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So your right foot should be parallel to the mat. Pardon me. Your right hand comes down. The thumb aligns with the little toe. The left leg is lifting, and your left hand is reaching for the ceiling. Now, as much as possible, you want to straighten your right leg. Really straighten and lift the left leg. And come on out of that. Take a moment, roll your shoulders back. Good. And then the fun that we're gonna have this morning, because you know I always like to inject a little bit of fun into your practice, is we're gonna play with transitioning from half moon into Skandasana, which is that one leg squat with an extended leg. Now the reason I'm giving you advanced warning is I recognize there are some with knee issues, and I want you to honor your knees. If this is not good for you, then you just do the balance, right? But if you can, we're gonna play with it a little bit. So let's go ahead and come back to the front of the mat, feet together, palms together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. And exhale, back down. We're gonna step back with the right foot, spin the heel flat, come up into a left foot forward, warrior two. Now, from your warrior two, reverse your warrior, right hand, right thigh, left arm up and over. Come back up. I'm gonna have you transition from your warrior two into your half moon. Left hand to the ground, right hand to the ceiling, right leg parallel to the floor. So here's where we're going next, you guys. Your right foot, when it comes down, is going to be slightly rotated out because the right knee will be the one that's bending for Skandasana. So as you come up, right leg hits, the knee bends, left leg is toes up towards the ceiling and extended. Take one more breath here. And then we're gonna just come back up into our warrior two. You'll see how we've already had all the components in our practice this morning. Go ahead and take hands to the mat. Step back to plank, flow through your vinyasa. Press those heels down. And then take a big step forward with your right foot. Spin your left heel flat. Come into warrior two on the right. From here, we're gonna reverse, left hand, left thigh, right arm up and over. Now we're gonna transition from warrior two into our half moon. So come back into your warrior two. Right hand to the mat, left leg lifts. Left hand reaches for the ceiling. And from here is where we'll transition into Skandasana. Remember, when your left foot comes down, your toes should rotate out slightly. So here's the deal. We come on up. Left foot hits, right toes point towards the ceiling, and you are back in your side lunge. Take one more breath here. We just come right back up into warrior two. And then take your hands to the mat and flow through your vinyasa. So from this downward facing dog, you can either walk or jump forward to a standing forward bend. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. We're gonna turn sideways again. Take a moderately wide stance and let the feet rotate out, whatever degree is comfortable for you to make your knees happy. And then, so we're gonna do a standing frog today. I'm not gonna make you get down on the mat, yay. So this may be just as exciting though. We're gonna keep the torso vertical, right? So your body is going to want to make you lean forward. I'm going to ask you to stay straight up and down. You're going to start bending the knees. Keep the torso vertical. Literally use your hands on the insides of the knees to press them back towards the little toes. Really opening the thighs. You're using arm strength to press your knees back. And you continue to drop the tailbone, keeping your torso vertical. 2 more breaths. Come on up from that. Rotate your toes forward. If you need to give yourself a standing tail wag, you can. And then we're going to take the feet considerably wider, whatever works for you. Toes pointing forward. I want you to fold forward again. Down you go. So this is your second time here. Notice if it feels any different from the first time. Been doing a lot of loosening of the inner thigh, groin, and hamstring area. Maybe take the feet a little wider. Remember, I'm not going to make you go into frog, so don't hold back. If you can go any further, do it. And then we'll bring those feet back together, all the way together. Big inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Good. You've already done a lot of balancing. We're going to do a tiny bit more. Playing with this inner thigh opening. I'd like you to stand on your left foot first. Bring your right foot up like you would for tree. We're going to start there. So Vrikshasana, right foot to the inside of the left thigh or calf. And then you strongly press the knee back or out. You want inner thighs to be stretched, right? Go ahead and bring palms up and overhead. Really focus on tightening the muscles on the outside of that right hip to open up that right inner thigh. Then, what I'd like you to do is take your left arm out to the left. You're going to reach down with your right hand. You're going to grab either inside the thigh, or you're going to grab your ankle or your right big toe. I want you to extend that right leg straight out to the right. Not so different from half moon, but now you're upright instead of horizontal. Reach the leg back, breathe, and release. Give yourself a little tail wag if you need it. And we're going to do the other side. Stand on your right foot. You're going to bring your left foot up wherever you need it for tree. Once it's there, and it doesn't really matter how high the foot is, what matters is that that left outer hip is engaged. I want your knee pressing strongly behind you. You should feel inner thigh and groin stretch. Let's bring palms together up and overhead. And then here's where we're going to go. Right arm out to the right. Left hand is going to grab either behind the left thigh, or you can grab your foot or big toe. I want you to try and extend your left leg to the left and open the leg out. You're looking for inner thigh and hamstring stretch. And then we're going to release, roll the shoulders back. Come back to the front of the mat with the feet together and the palms together, and inhale, reach the arms up, stretch. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, back down. You can either walk or jump back to plank and flow through one last vinyasa. From your downward facing dog, you can either walk or jump forward. Have a seat, legs extended. Pause for a moment in Dandasana, feeling your sit bones. With a very straight spine, very active legs. So this is where we check in with all of our systems. Right? So it's not just the body. We have all of these. In yoga, we have multiple bodies. We have this physical body, which is the body made of food. We have our mental body. We have our energetic body. We have multiples. So we check in with all of them, right? We check our body, our breath, our mind, our heart, our energy, and even our sense of connection. Then I'm going to have you keep your left leg straight. You're going to bend your right knee, bring it to the inside of the left thigh. Lean out over your left leg. So you should be feeling hamstring in the left side. Wherever your hands are on your left leg is the perfect place to keep them. You're gonna raise your left leg up. Try and keep it straight. Lift your chest so that you have a straight spine. And then maybe even pull the leg towards you. So this is a variation on heron. In the full pose, your right foot would be back by your right hip. Take 2 more breaths here. And I want you to keep your left hand wherever it is, put your right hand on the floor for support, and simply take that left leg out to the left, getting a little extra inner thigh stretch. 1 more breath. You're gonna bring this left leg all the way around, put it in front of right near thigh. Your left hand is gonna go behind you and you are gonna twist to the left. Really nice straight spine as you twist and rotate to look over your left shoulder. As you unwind, I'd like you to bring the soles of your feet together. Hands are right behind your backside, pressing into the mat, pressing your feet together, pressing your knees away from each other, and then strongly reaching the knees down towards the ground. What you should feel is that the outer hip, outer thigh is contracting, and that's causing an inner thigh release. So it's a reflex release. Keep your left knee bent, extend your right leg out, and now we're gonna lean out over the right leg. Just get a nice hamstring stretch. And then wherever your hands are is the perfect place for them. Go ahead and raise the right leg up. Try and keep it straight. Keep your chest lifted. So variation on Kranchasana, heron pose. And then keep your right hand on your right leg. Bring your left hand to the floor so that you've got some stability. Just take your right leg out to the right. Getting a little bit of inner thigh stretch. Bring that right leg all the way across so that your right foot is flat in front of that left knee or thigh. Now we're twisting to the right. Right hand is behind you, and you're rotating to look over your right shoulder. And again, as you unwind, you're going to bring soles of the feet together. This time I want you to actually interlace your fingers over the toes, lift the chest. Same things apply though. Knees are pressing out to the side and down towards the floor. And then you begin to lean forward over your legs. You continue to keep the outer hip and thigh very engaged. Knees are still pressing down, but you're starting to lean forward over your legs. Come on up from that. Extend your legs into a nice wide V. Make sure you're on your sit bones, that your legs are very active, that your toes are pointing straight up, feet are flexed. So first, we're going to rotate over one leg at a time. We're going to start to the left. I want you to lift up through your chest. Put your left hand behind you, right hand dead center. Keep both legs active, by the way. Don't let your right leg get soggy and roll in. Lift your chest, rotate to the left, lengthen out over your left leg. Now, as you're doing this, you should feel that left hamstring, but if you're keeping your right leg active and the toes pointing up, you should feel your right inner thigh. You want to feel both. It's a buy one, get one free morning here.
Come on up from that. Both legs are still very active. Now your left hand is in front of you. Your right hand is behind you. Lift, so you got a straight spine. Both legs stay very active. Toes pointing directly up at the ceiling. Lengthen out over your right thigh. So now you should feel right hamstring, but left inner thigh. Come on up from that. Relax your legs for a moment. Roll them in and out because we're going to stay wide. Flex the ankles again. Make sure that you're still on your sit bones. So here's what I want you to do. Starting at your left foot, hands are inside this beautiful wide triangle that you've made with your legs. You're reaching out towards your left heel, and you're going to continue reaching out or forward as you walk your hands in small steps around towards your right foot. Pause for a breath. Both legs stay active. We're going to walk back to the left foot. But I want you to keep reaching strongly forward while you're doing it, right? You're reaching forward. You're walking your hands around to the left. Then you're going to come back to the center, lift your chest, walk your hands forward, and breathe. Three more breaths here. Walk your hands back up. Use your hands to help bring the legs together. Give them a good wiggle. And now you're going to lean out over both legs, just stretching out both hamstrings simultaneously. From here, you can come on up. We're going to roll onto our backs, hug the knees in, and rock side to side. I want you to keep your left knee hugged into your chest. Extend your right leg all the way out onto the ground. You're going to extend your left leg as straight as you can get it. It might be up towards the ceiling, but it might also be towards the foot end of the mat. It depends on your hamstring flexibility, right? Try and get the leg straight. Give it a little bit of a pull towards you, just a little bit, to get additional hamstring stretch. Now, a lot of people like to bend the knee and try and bring it in. I want you to keep your leg really straight today. Just humor me. Flex the ankle and toes. And wherever your left hand is, you're going to keep it there. Right hand is going to go to your hip bone because you're not going to let your hips roll. Keep your left leg straight and start to take it out to the left. Right glute stays firmly planted. You're not trying to plunk over to the left. You're trying to keep your left leg straight, foot flexed. One more breath. Bring your left leg back up, hug the knee in, and just come into a nice gentle twist to the right with your left arm opening out to the left, and take several slow, deep, relaxed breaths. One more breath on this side. Come on back up. Hug your left knee in. Bring the right knee up to meet it. You can rock for a moment if you like. And then we're going to keep the right knee hugged in and extend the left leg all the way out onto the floor. Extend your right leg as straight up or out as you can get it. straight leg, foot is flexed. Grab whatever you can reach. Give yourself a little bit of a pull, slight, to get a little additional hamstring stretch. And then wherever your right hand is, you're going to keep it there. Put your left hand on your left hip to prevent any movement in the pelvis. And then just open your right leg out to the right. Keep the leg straight. Keep the foot flexed. Keep your left glute firmly planted. Go ahead and bring that right leg back up. Hug the knee in. And just come into a nice gentle twist to the left. Right arm opening out to the right. And we're here for several relaxed breaths. On your next inhale, come on back up. Hug your right knee into your chest. Bring your left knee up to meet it. Give yourself a good side to side rock. So your outer hips and thighs have been working very hard, contracting very tightly to cause those reflex releases in the inner thighs and hamstrings. So we're going to give them a little love now. Want you to keep your knees bent, put your feet flat, but put them outside the edges of the mat. So your right foot is to the right of your mat, your left foot is to the left of your mat. You're going to drop both knees to the right. Just pause for a moment. You should feel a gentle, subtle stretch in your left outer hip. If you're not feeling it, look down at your left leg and make sure it's parallel to the long sides of the mat and that you've got about a 90-degree angle at your left knee. If you're still not feeling it and you'd like to feel more, if it's a good idea for your knees, you could put your right foot on top of your left knee and then just relax your right leg. It's the perfect weight to apply a little bit of leverage to give you additional sensation in that left outer hip. So that's your IT band, tensor fascia latae. There are some other abductor muscles there that are getting a nice stretch. So just breathe. Let that left outer hip stretch. One more breath here. Now, if your right foot was or is on top of your left knee, you're going to take it off and put it back outside the right side of the mat. Bring both knees back up. Now you're going to drop both knees to the left. Take your time here, right? So first you check in with that right outer hip. If you're not feeling enough, look down, make sure your right thigh is parallel to the long sides of the mat and that you have about a 90-degree angle at the right knee. If you're still not feeling enough and you would like to, you can put your left foot on top of the right knee, relax the left leg, and that provides just the right amount of leverage for some additional sensation in that right outer hip. If your left foot has been on top of your right knee, take it back off, put it back outside the left side of the mat. And now we're going to keep the feet wide, but just prop the knees together. Hold that for a couple of breaths. And then just start walking your feet towards each other. Get the big toes to touch and the heels to separate. And then let's go ahead and just lift up for bridge pose. So this is tightening the hamstrings, which have been stretching throughout your entire practice. Opening up the front of the hips, keeping thighs fairly close, right? So you want your knees the same distance as your heels. Take 2 more breaths. On your next exhale, just lower down slowly. Hug your knees into your chest. You can rock side to side. And then we're going to grab the outside edges of the feet or the ankles and just wiggle around a little bit. So I want you to explore how your thighs are feeling as you come into happy baby. Wiggle around. Maybe play with straightening and bending the legs. Just kind of see what's going on. Notice if things feel different. Notice if they feel better, more alive. Really, that's what we're shooting for. We bring in more prana, life force, when we practice. And the whole idea is to be more alive. Take a couple more breaths here. And when you're ready, go ahead and place your feet flat on the mat, ankles and knees together. Let's do just a few gentle hip rolls. As you exhale, let the knees drop to one side. And that could be a little or a lot. Inhale the knees back up. Exhale, drop them to the other side. Just keep rolling with your breath. When you feel even or ready, you're just going to let the knees drop open, soles of the feet together. Pause for a moment. This is your last gentle inner thigh stretch, right? It's very passive. Reclined bound angle just allows the weight of the legs to create space. But then we're going to use this to lengthen the low back. So on your next inhale, tilt the pelvis back so that you compress your lumbar spine into the mat. The muscles that run on either side of your spine, the erector spinae, they're lengthening here, and that's a nice thing. On your next exhale, release. You'll feel that curve come back into the spine. One more time, inhale, flatten the back, press your low back into the mat. Exhale and release. Begin to extend your legs. And really be mindful of the correct distance for the feet today. So you might find, if you normally take your feet rather far apart, you might find they want to be closer together. Today you've done a lot of inner thigh stuff, or it might be that things feel so loose you want to take them wider. Regardless, tune in to what your body wants. Don't go to a movement pattern. Let this be fresh today. And then once you've found the correct distance for the feet, roll the thighs in and out, lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, close your eyes. Take a big inhale through the nose. And a big exhale through the mouth. Just begin to soften. Just start to release. Feel how the earth holds you. Feel how gravity holds you. Feel how you are suspended between those two beautifully balanced forces. And what a lovely example of balance it is. Just the right amount of pressure from above and below to keep you held on your mat.
in a completely relaxed state. What a beautiful thing. So I want you to take a moment and really feel into that recognition of being perfectly held. Also recognizing that it's not just here in Shavasana, but throughout life. Gravity keeps us from floating off the planet. And the planet is just dense enough to keep us from being pressed down into the earth. And maybe, just maybe, there are other forces also holding us, protecting us, guiding us. And so knowing that these forces are with us always, we know we're never alone. So these are the things I want you to feel at a truly cellular level today in Shavasana, that you are held, that you are protected, that you are guided, that you're balanced, that you're nurtured, that you're loved. Just feeling into your body to feel the effects of your physical practice on muscles and joints. And also feeling the effects of this knowledge, this internalization of being held. And notice how soft and relaxed your breath is. Notice your thoughts. Notice your emotions. Notice your energy. Start to move your fingers and toes a little bit. Start to deepen the breath. When you're ready, take that deeper breath in, spread fingers and toes. Exhale through your mouth as you relax them. Breathe in even deeper, stretch even longer. Exhale with a sigh as you relax. Bend your knees. Roll to your right side. Press yourself up into sitting. So as you come to your seated position, you want to find that same
straight, comfortable, aligned spine so that you are able to do breath work without the body being a distraction. Today, we're going to be doing Nadi Shodhana, a very balanced breath. It's an alternate nostril breath. You'll be using your right hand to block the nostrils. Just a reminder, the preferred hand position is Vishnu Mudra, which is to take the first two fingers of your right hand and tuck them underneath the pad of the thumb. Then you flip your palm to face you. Those two bent fingers beautifully rest under the nostrils. So your right ring and pinky finger can block your left nostril and your right thumb can block the right nostril. Now, if that's really awkward and you can't get your fingers under the pad of the thumb, you can take the first two fingers of your right hand and put them in the center of the forehead. You still have right thumb blocking right nostril, ring and pinky finger blocking left. All right. Your left hand can do any mudra that you feel called to do, or can simply rest palm up or palm down on the left knee or thigh. We're going to be doing samavriti, which means equal length of breath. We're going to do, if comfortable for you, you can always shorten this if you need to, but we're going to really control the breath. We're going to do a 6-second inhale and a 6-second exhale every time. So that means you might need to breathe in slower and breathe out quicker than you're used to, but I want you to really focus on controlling the breath. So find the right hand position with your right hand. Do what you need to do with your left hand. Take a big inhale through both nostrils. Exhale completely through both nostrils. Block the right, inhale through the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. 2 more rounds. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Relax your right hand down. Just sit for a moment with the effects of that breath. Slowly bring your palms together in front of your heart. Take a moment in gratitude for the forces that hold us, for the forces that guide us, the forces that protect us, and for the forces that love us. One more huge breath in through the nose. Happy sigh through the mouth. Palms to the forehead, reminding us to be present. Palms to the lips, reminding us to speak our truth. Palms to the heart, reminding us to keep our hearts open, to practice kindness, compassion, and unconditional love. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.